Question: DS. Is S greater than T? Condition 1. Absolute value of whole of S minus T is less than absolute value of T. Condition 2. Absolute value of S is greater than negative S. Solution. Let's solve this DS question using the variable approach. The distance between x and y on the number line is given by absolute value of whole of x minus y, or absolute value of y minus x, since absolute value of whole of x minus y equals absolute value of whole of y minus x. For this question, we will also need to remember the fourth property of absolute value. If negative a is less than absolute value of a, then a is greater than 0, and if negative a equals absolute value of a, then a is less than equal to 0. Let's apply the 3 steps suggested previously. Follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. We have to find out whether S is greater than T. Follow the second and the third steps. From the original condition, we have 2 variables, S and T. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need 2 equations. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide 1 equation each, C would most likely be the answer. Recall 3 principles and choose C as the most likely answer. Let's take a look at condition 1 and condition 2 combined. Condition 1 tells us that absolute value of whole of S minus T is less than absolute value of T, which we can write absolute value of whole of S minus T is less than absolute value of whole of T minus 0. Here it is important to insert 0, as it then represents the distance from T to 0. It means the distance between S and T is smaller than the distance between T and 0. Condition 2 tells us that absolute value of S is greater than negative S, which means S is greater than 0, according to the fourth property of absolute value. Both condition 1 and condition 2 together tell us that absolute value of whole of S minus T is less than absolute value of whole of T minus 0, and S is greater than 0. Absolute value of whole of T minus 0 equals absolute value of T is between 0 and T. Absolute value of whole of S minus T is between T and S. This is yes. Absolute value of whole of T minus 0 equals absolute value of T is between 0 and T. Between S and T is absolute value of whole of S minus T. This is no. As there is not a unique answer, the conditions combined are not sufficient by the common mistake type 1, which means that you get both yes and no as the answer. It is not sufficient. Here are some numerical examples. If S equals 11 and T equals 10, the answer will be yes, as S is greater than T. If S equals 9 and T equals 10, the answer will be no, as S is smaller than T. Both conditions 1 and 2 together are not sufficient, so E is the correct answer. In such questions, you should immediately look at both conditions combined, rather than working on the individual conditions as per the conventional approach from official guides. This saves some precious time. Answer: E.